Donald Trump gets booed by conservatives, and there's a Karen in the camp, the Donald Trump camp. Libertarians, ladies and gentlemen, he sought the nomination of the Libertarian Party. Here's how it went.
But last night, a far less friendly reception than Trump typically sees at his own rallies. The crowd at the Libertarian National Convention booing the former president.
Combine with us. You have to combine with us. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years.
In 2016, Trump was able to reach voters outside traditional party lines. But this year,
the Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for president of the United States. Whoa. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win.
Libertarian voters seemed hesitant to support the former president.
I would rather eat my own foot out of a bear trap.
Damn. I mean, that's kind of harsh, ma'am. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Donald Trump, he spent time with you. He came to the Libertarian Party. I don't know who on his campaign set this up. Huge foul, obviously. Remarkable moment for people like myself. But when Donald Trump got all of those, well, let's just say less than a favorable response, he said, whoa, he was shocked. His political instinct is completely off. This is what happens when you surround yourself by yes men and yes women who tell you simply what you want to hear all day long. Somebody should have told him, libertarians, and I say this often, while I do not agree with all of their political ideology every time we brought a libertarian to the show, it was an authentic conversation, no gaslighting at all. What they believe, they sincerely believe, they stuck to their guns here, all right? Here's one of the Karens in the camp who refused to get up so that the Libertarian delegation could sit down. Here it is.
Okay. Make it work. I just need a couple more. We also forced the hotel for us to remove some of our campaign literature, and to the point where the hotel had to reimburse our candidates because of what he was doing. So it's very it is, and I like nobody's here saying anybody's here, but the point is like he's being very shady about what he's trying to pull. He threatened to cancel this event if we didn't get rid of some of our campaign literature for our candidates.
So it's not entitlement, that's what's going on.
That's what's happening. Nobody's being entitled. We were supposed to. You can't believe all truth comes from one person unless that person dies.
I know that. But I also know him better than I know you.
That's fine. I was the lifelong.
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
Where do you get your information?
Well,
where do you get yours?
Yeah, I grew up being friends with Mike Pence. I grew up being friends with all of these people, right? I'm not an anti-anything, and so I'm not against them for the sake of being against them.
Well, Mike Pence is a total traitor.
You only think that.
No, I know that.
Because of what happened.
According to the person who posted that back and forth on X, the woman eventually did, in fact, get up. All right, let's get into it. Put him up full mask. This was the moment. He begged, pleaded for the libertarian vote. Former President Donald Trump was loudly and consistently booed throughout his speech on Saturday at the Libertarian Party's national convention, particularly when he decided to ask the attendees to nominate me or at least vote for me. Boo, they responded. The heckling began the moment the former president took the stage. As a matter of fact, it started as he was walking up to the stage. And some of his supporters in the room tried to drown out the boos with chants of, "We want Trump." Now, this happens when you cannot stage the entire event. Now, I think you should nominate me or at least vote for me, and we should win together, Trump said, because the libertarians want to vote for me, and it's very important because we have to get rid of the worst president in history, Trump added, quote, "Only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years." In 2016, the Libertarian presidential nominee, Gary Johnson, earned more than 3% of the popular vote, a high point in the party's history. So he goes to seek the nomination, I guess, and he then insults the entire party by saying, go ahead and keep getting your 3%. But the 3% was quite valuable to you for you to come here and spend time with these good folks called Libertarians, to get booed on the stage, and you insult them by the 3% comment. There's more. Let's put them up full mass. So Trump did leave the stage after 34 minutes, marking one of his shortest campaign speeches to date, actually. Chase Oliver ultimately won the Libertarian presidential nomination. Shout out to Chase. We've invited him on the program. I hope he comes. Sunday night, after several rounds of voting at the convention, he was declared the victor. Trump's stop at the convention marked an unconventional one for the presumptive Republican nominee. But it is illustrative of his campaign's intensifying concern over third-party candidates. The outreach to Libertarians follows weeks of stepped-up attacks by Trump aimed at Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose high-profile independent White House bid is increasingly viewed by the former president's advisors as a potential problem in an election expected to be decided by a narrow margin in a handful of states. Kennedy, who spoke at the convention on Friday, much better reception, by the way, was nominated by a delegation or delegate Sunday on the convention floor. Where his candidacy was met with boos from other delegates, he was eliminated as a potential nominee in the first round of voting, but he did receive 2.07% of the vote. Trump was also nominated on the convention floor Sunday, but Libertarian Party chair Angela McArdle ruled the former president was not qualified because he did not submit nominating papers. So on brand. Nominate me, damn your rules and your 3%. I'm dictator. Can you just sign your name on the, if Kennedy can do it, damn it, I know you can, Trump. There's more. The reason I didn't file, he says, paperwork for the Libertarian nomination, which I would have absolutely gotten if I wanted it. Can we come to earth for a minute? The man got booed worse than anybody in the history of the Libertarian Party. I promise you, I would not have received that many boos at the Libertarian Party if I said nominate me. Hell, I may have gotten 2% of the vote too. But Trump says after all of that, he still would have won the entire thing if he simply would have filled out the paperwork. Now, here's what I believe. I think Donald Trump didn't fill out the paperwork because he knew good and damn well there was no way he was getting the nomination. It's just a ploy. But there's a reason, according to the campaign. So he says, I would have absolutely gotten it if I wanted it, as everyone could tell by the enthusiasm of the crowd last night. I'm telling you, this is what the man said. Was the fact that as the Republican nominee, I am not allowed to have the nomination of another party. Trump posted Sunday on Truth Social. Regardless, I believe I will get a majority of the Libertarian votes. According to Trump's campaign, a Republican presidential candidate cannot be nominated by two political parties in most states. There's some argument and variation to that rule, actually, but the lie is the lie. Donald Trump said if he was on the paperwork, he would have received the nomination of the Libertarian Party, and you can tell by the enthusiasm in the room. The enthusiasm being, I guess, boos. All right. This is called rewriting history in real time. Sharon, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, where's the Sandman when you need him? Okay, put him out of his misery and do his little tap dance and just add some entertainment to this thing. It was Looney Tunes. Mr. Dictator, the very definition of a libertarian is freedom of choice, freedom of thought. And so you're not going to tell them who to vote for and then insult them on top of it. I mean, that would be my first point. My second would be, duh. I mean, who's running his campaign? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, Doc.
Yeah, and Twitter Dom.